Do you ever feel frustrated, drained by a bad opener in TFT, and now you have to play from behind? Do you enjoy outscaling your opponents for a dramatic win out?
The unstoppable Exodia.
Today, I'm here to show you how to make a bloody good comeback and gain easy LP with Vladimir the Hemomancer. So why pick Vladimir over other legends? 1, Vlad gives you so much extra bonus stats that have win out potential once you hit critical mass. 2, it guarantees your combat augment, which can compensate for a lack of 2-star upgrades or not hitting the ideal unit. For example, if you miss Shen but hit Nasus, the combat augment will make up for not having the ideal unit. 3, it gives you the option to lose streak if your opener sucks, giving you comeback potential with scaling augments even with a poor start. Before we analyze transfusion, it's important to remember one simple formula in TFT: effective HP. Effective HP means how much actual damage that you can tank. For example, if your tank has 1000 HP and 100 armor, you can tank up to 2000 physical damage. So your effective HP in this scenario is 2000. Don't worry, the formula is actually very simple. The basics of it is effective HP equals HP times resistances times damage reduction. You don't even really have to memorize this. Just remember to mix in bonus HP with resistances and damage reduction. So in terms of transfusion, these are the traits that best benefit from it. For max HP, you want Bruiser, Shadow Isles, and Shurima. Resistances, you want Bastion and Demacia. For damage reduction, you want Juggernaut. As such, here are the best comps that currently maximizes transfusion value. In S tier, I would put Bastion Aphelios, Shurima Azir, Invokers Karma, and Piltover Zeri. In A tier, I would put Shadow Isles Gwenflex and Vertical Demacia. And in B tier, I would put Rek'Sai Bruisers and 6 Zon if you have things like the Explosion mod. Another way that you can look at it is what are the important units that I'm playing around that benefit from transfusion. For example, 3 costs like Taric and Garen love transfusion. 4 costs like Shen and Nasus also benefit. 5 costs like Aatrox and Sion. They all touch something related to the traits that I've mentioned before. These are only some of the examples that benefit from transfusion, which also means that if you're playing a different legend, you can also just pick transfusion for your comp if you're playing a lot of these traits and units. Battle Ready is an augment that specifically amplifies the effectiveness of having a lot of high HP. So max HP, shielding, healing, you name it, anything that helps extend our HP is going to be really effective with this. Currently, Battle Ready 2 has the best stats out of any of the Battle Readies. You can always pick Battle Ready 1 and 3 as a fallback option in case you're not getting some of the crazy options at that tier. One comp that particularly benefits from having things like Battle Ready is a healing and shielding comp like Invokers. And hey, we talked about mixing in resistances and damage reduction on top of our HP. Here's a combat augment that offers you that damage reduction. Ascension is really good when your composition needs damage and your comp is really good at stalling with a lot of frontline. Outside of specific compositions like Bastion Aphelios that's dedicated to stalling, when you pick Ascension, it's usually because you're in a situation where you have too much frontline and defensive traits and not enough backline damage. Think of it like this: after 15 seconds, all of your units gain a guard breaker since what you're gaining is bonus damage. For example, if you're in a situation where you have 3-4 frontline items and 1 backline item, Ascension can be very powerful to scale your comp to get stronger if they can't kill you fast enough. Currently, my favorite Ascension is actually the Silver Partial Ascension because it offers a lot of power for a Silver augment if you're able to unlock its potential. But in certain spots, you can definitely take Ascension and Final Ascension if it makes sense for your comp. Okay, so now we understand Vlad's augments, but how do we actually play him? Well, the most common style that's consistent is currently to lose streak from stage 2-1 all the way until 3-5. Here are 4 stats on how to play Open Fort Vlad. Step 1, play the minimal amount of units so you lose as well as rack up gold interest. This means a lot of times you'll be playing 1, maybe 2 units on your board so you can potentially kill a unit while also lose streaking and making gold. However, if you see someone else trying to snap your lose streak and doing the same, sell everything. I mean everything. Don't play a single unit, don't slam a single item. This is a strategy that we call in TFT open forting because we're just not even playing a single unit. This is because winning a single round is disastrous. You need as much gold as possible to execute the strategy to roll on 3-5. If you do end up playing units, remember to not slam any items unless you know for a fact that you're going to lose. You might accidentally win, especially if it's a close fight. Step 2, prioritize your items. It's important to identify what item is mandatory for your composition to work. For example, if you're playing Open for Bastion Aphelios, focus on getting those 2 Rage Blades. and then get everything else like the bonus damage for Philios or tank items for Shen. If you're playing Azir, make sure you get things like that magic tread through Shiv or Spark, and then get things like Jewel Gauntlet, Gunblade, and Nasus items. Step 3, level to 7 and roll down at stage 3-5. You want to roll until you're stable. In this case, it means upgrading your 2 and 3 costs while getting 1 or 2 copies of your 4 costs. However, don't roll too much because you still want to have enough gold to go to level 8. I would recommend not going below 20 gold unless you're holding 4 or more pairs or feeling too weak. Ideally, you win these next 2 fights at the end of stage 3 and go into stage 4 with a 2 streak. Step 4, the tide turning question. When do we roll on 7 versus go to level 8? My rule of thumb is that you roll on 7 if 1, you are very low HP, like below 30, and you see some other very strong boards, such as a Piltover cash out. You may need to roll on 7 more before going to level 8. 2, you're holding at least 3 crucial pairs. There are a couple of units that don't really matter if you upgrade them, but crucial is often defined by putting items on these units. So if you're holding 3 pairs of your units that are holding items, you can roll for them. 3, you are rolling for 3-star 3 costs, such as Karma or Rek'Sai. 4, you're in a portal that incentivizes rolling, such as high econ portals that rebound your gold quickly, or things that help you level up. Sometimes you're going to be stuck on level 7 all the way until stage 5, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're stable on 7 first. Otherwise, go to level 8, hit those legendaries, and get those better odds for your 4 cost upgrades. The other main way to play Vladimir is win streak, and if you can win streak, go for it. In my opinion, win streak with Transfusion Vladimir is actually the true OP strat. This is because you get to skip level 7 entirely with your win streak and trade your HP to get combat power and gold. So don't sell a strong opener like 2-star Ionia, Void, or Noxus just for the sake of open Fort Vlad. Usually you can win streak if you have multiple upgrades and an item that you can slam. If you're missing any of those conditions, it's going to be likely you win, lose, which will make your economy really inconsistent. In that situation, don't try to force the win streak. Go for the 5 loss instead. And here are my final bonus tips before you go. What portals should I pick with Vladimir? The best portals that you can pick with Vladimir are portals that give you a lot of extra goals, such as Scuttle Puddle and Fleshing Arena, so that you can play lose streak open for it and have a high chance of hitting when you roll. Targon Prime, so once you hit that 40 HP threshold, you can make that big comeback. And portals that specifically synergize with having a lot of HP on your front line, like Immortal Bastion or House Light Shield. Bonus tip number 2, I failed my win streak. Should I convert to lose streak now? The answer is yes, but don't give up unless you lose 2 fights to start stage 2. In this situation, you thought you could probably win streak, and so you leveled to 4 at 2-1 and then lost. But you shouldn't immediately try to sell everything because you can still 4 streak to the end of the stage and end on fire. If you do lose 2 in a row though, sell everything and focus on the lose streak and play for economy. And the last bonus tip, avoid getting dizzy with preemptive decisions. If you're running out of bench space, you can preemptively make your items that you 100% know that you're going to make. So build that Rage Blade or Bramble Vest. In these situations, if you're lose streaking, leave it on the bench so that you don't slam it until you need it to win. You can also do things like pre-level and invest extra gold above 50 because it doesn't cost you any interest, saving you a potential couple precious seconds for your big roll down. And if you're in a spot where you have too much gold, need to build all these items and transition your board, consider rolling during the PvE round. Use that extra time to make quality decisions with each refresh of your shop. And don't worry if you lose only 1 or 2 extra gold interest for the next round. So there you have it. All my tips on how to squeeze every drop of value out of Vladimir. If you have any extra bonus tips on how to play Vlad, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.